Forget all the productivity apps, the morning routines, the ice baths. What if I told you the ultimate secret to boundless energy, insane focus, and yeah, even success wasn't invented in some tech hub, but was perfected thousands of years ago, and then just kind of got forgotten? Well, today we're cracking open an ancient text to uncover a biohack so powerful it was supposedly reserved for emperors.
Okay, so let's just dive right in. The source material, it's not exactly holding back, is it? We're not talking about a little boost in your afternoon focus here. No, this is being framed as the literal path to ultimate power, success, and apparently even godhood. So, no pressure or anything.
So that's the big question, right? How do you become this cosmic CEO? Well, these ancient teachings, they lay out what's basically a spiritual business plan. It's a completely radical way to think about managing your personal energy. So let's break down the strategy step by step.
All right, so first things first. Like any good business plan, we've got to start with asset management. And according to this philosophy, a man's most valuable asset, it's not his time, it's not his money, it's something way more fundamental.
Yeah, the source views this as the literal raw material for life itself. It's not just biology. It's seen as this potent cocktail of precious nutrients, minerals, and life force. It's the fuel for your ambition, your creativity, your drive. In this model, you're basically the CEO of your own personal power plant.
And here we have the core problem that this entire practice is designed to solve. From this perspective, ejaculation isn't just a moment of pleasure, it's a massive expenditure of your most vital resource. Think of it like a significant energy leak that over time limits your total potential output.
Now check out this number, 72 hours. The source claims it takes the body up to 72 hours to fully restore all the vitamins, minerals, and hormones that are lost. I mean, think about that. That's 3 full days of system downtime where your internal factory is just working overtime to restock the shelves.
And this chart just lays it out plain and simple. You start with a full tank, right? But after a release, you're running on low. The goal of this whole practice isn't to stop having pleasure, not at all. It's to separate the pleasure from the depletion, to plug the leak and start reinvesting that energy right back into your own system.
So how do you actually plug this energetic leak? How do you flip the switch from, let's say, spending to investing? Well, the source introduces this legendary technique, and it all centers around something it calls the $1 million point, a master control for the entire system.
But before we get to the technique itself, we gotta get the language right. The source uses the Sanskrit term lingam, which translates to the wand of light. And that's a really important reframe. It's about seeing this not as just simple anatomy, but as a vector of energy, a secret tool for creation and power.
And that brings us to the absolute key to this whole operation, the $1 million point. The source describes this spot on the perineum as the gateway, the main valve to unlocking a man's deeper potential. So you have to think of it less as a pleasure spot and more as a crucial energy valve.
So if we put it all together, the practice combines 3 core strategies. Step 1, you recalibrate arousal. Step 2, you start guiding that building energy upward from the perineum. And then step 3, the master stroke, you activate the $1 million point at just the right moment to completely redirect the flow. Okay, so you've activated the master switch. The energy that was heading for the exits has been completely rerouted. So, where does it go now? This is where things get really, really interesting. Instead of a brief external event that kind of depletes you, the experience becomes this powerful internal one that actually revitalizes you. You're not losing energy anymore, you're recycling it. You're transforming that raw arousal into a sustainable, full-body power source.
The whole process begins as the power plant fires up, right? A massive amount of raw sexual energy starts to build up in the pelvic region. But then, just as that energy is about to be released, pressing the $1 million point acts like a circuit breaker. It prevents the outward flow and sends that powerful surge right back into the body's internal grid.
And this is where it goes way beyond just a physical technique. According to the source, that redirected energy travels up the spine to the heart. It connects that raw physical power with your emotional core, turning it into a profoundly moving experience.
And from the heart, that energy doesn't just stop. It floods the entire system. The source describes it as an electric current of vitality that just saturates every single cell, leaving you feeling powerful, open, and completely alive.
So, let's talk about the payoff.
Let's get down to the bottom line. What is the ultimate return on investment from mastering this internal energy economy? Well, the source lists some pretty transformative benefits.
I mean, the list is impressive. We're talking about enhanced physical potency and stamina for sure. But it goes so much deeper. A profound sense of self-mastery, which then leads to more confidence and success in all areas of your life. Greater emotional openness, and the ability to have these powerful, full-body orgasms without that energy depletion.
This quote, this really gets to the absolute core of the philosophy. True power isn't about controlling the world outside of you. It's about achieving sovereignty over your own internal state, your own body, your own energy. When you own yourself, well, then you own your world.
So, is this just some ancient productivity hack, or is it something more? Perhaps it's a radical reframing of what pleasure and power and potential really truly mean. It's a reminder that sometimes the greatest resources aren't out there for us to conquer, but are just waiting to be cultivated right inside of us.